Hey everybody, welcome to this bonus video of Fable 2. In the last video, we ended the game. But in today's video, we still have so much left to do. You have avenged your sister's death and ending Lucid's plans. Your destiny has been fulfilled. Thanks to you. Thanks to your unselfish choice. And Aspire, you have become the truest hero in Albion. Letter from the people of Albion. Hero among heroes, the people of Albion, an organization formed by representatives from every region of the land and every walk of life. Thanks you for your selfless act in the Tantus Spire. We do not pretend we understand the events that took place in there, and yet all that matters is those who are taken from us are alive to celebrate their return and commemorate your heroic deed. We have erected a statue in your honor. We hope you like it, people of Albion. As you notice, tattered spire, still left standing. We will come to this a little bit later, but now we can actually do the last things. Let's go to Ballastone and see the statue. Shall we?
Bowerstone's finest items.
I cast slow time. Everyone killing wood.
In honor to the hero who saved so many lives at the spire, Albion thanks you. But let's head to Castle Fairfax, for it is our last destination on the market.
I'm pleased to serve you.
Shit.
Hope you enjoy it. Oh, you won't regret buying that.
Because then we lost the ones that we love. I'm gonna be a total bitch and cheat behind her fucking back.
Yes! Yes! We should find a house, darling. Then we can get married.
Don't mean to be rude, but I have to go. You can't hit me! You can't hit me!
Let's buy the best house in the region.
Within every lifetime there are moments of greatness, even perfection, some solitary, but others shared. On a sunny morning, under a clear sky, the villagers crowded together to witness two people stand and declare their love for each other. Some say they were a strange couple, others that they saw a story of true love. Only time would tell.
You own 2.5 million gold pieces worth of property. The king and queen titles are available. You're the owner and you earned the title of god.
I still can't believe we're married. It's like a dream. Always a pleasure to help you.
Greetings, sir, and welcome to Castle Fairfax. I trust it will prove satisfactory to your requirements. The dining chamber and your new study are located to the left of the main hall. To the right, you will find the tower and the royal suite. If I may be so bold, I highly recommend a brief repose in the regal bed. It is said to do wonders for one's well-being.
Oh, wow. Great. You're just the best. I'm all yours, my
What?
love.
And to think, I thought you were
they
great.
say the world's much bigger than it was 500 years ago. My friends keep asking me why I haven't got an engagement ring.
Yes. This is the throne room of Albion.
Hey, come and have a go at me, if you think you're tough enough.
My boy's getting his dick wet tonight.
Smart. I've seen more brains in a slop bucket.
I know it's kind of a cheap cop-out, but, you know. I actually think it's kind of very fitting. I'm a fucking demon.
Oh, I'm so lucky I found you. Oh,
When destiny takes hold, what will you do?
Oh, I'm so impressed. You won't believe this. I'm pregnant.
Bringing a child into the world lends a new perspective on all things. When parents look upon their baby for the first time, they realize that until now, they had no idea what love really was. They see before them all possible lives the child might live. Every choice is yet to be made.
Yes, we are Father.
That was just fantastic, darling. You have been so good lately. I bought you a little present, dear.
Hey, little... No. No. I'm gonna give you the exact name I want for this fucking child.
How do we know you won't kill one of us next?
Shut up.
You stand above us all, a giant among insects.
His name shall be Logan. Yeah, I know. Bit of a cop-out, but hey. Fuck do you expect? As you notice. The very place where he killed us. It's sad to see this place after so much time. But I'm like, don't worry. The only reason why I actually named them Logan is because there's something.
Those who have slept in the regal bed have commended its remarkable powers of recuperation. I'm sorry to inconvenience you, sir, but the castle appears to be under attack. It would seem that the intruders entered the property via a secret passage in the library.
You made a bad mistake. Let's obviously share the spoil.
Always.
Find some.
Always nice to fellow kids.
Well done, sir. Most impressive. If I may be so bold, I would venture to suggest that this was their point of entry. Perhaps it would be wise to investigate this matter further. As for me, I regretfully announce the end of my brief tenure at your service. My predecessor neglected to inform me of the highly hazardous nature of the post, and I am of a somewhat nervous disposition, as you have no doubt noticed. Good day, sir.
I'm not.
Congratulations on acquiring this fine potion of highly surprising transformation. The latest in gender-bending technology. You now have the power to change your sex. Warning, gender change is permanent. Potion will evaporate upon leaving this dungeon. Side effects may include unsettling new odors and unusual hair growth. This magically recorded message has been brought to you by Lionhead Alchemy Incorporated.
No one shall ever know.
I call it.
All right. I would never have expected this from you.
How'd you like that apple?
Stalls now open! Stalls now opening for business!
Tonight, I look down on the mobs crowding the bar-stone streets and feel a dark, bitter envy. I covet their vibrance, their life. Fairfax Castle is silent. My dear Helena, my cherished Amelia, I miss you both terribly. There's no more certain cure for pain than anger, and I'm filled with enough of that to bring the world to a smouldering halt, that people would accept death and despair as part of life, as fate, is beyond my comprehension. I find myself wanting to shout into their ignorant faces, to shake them out of their complacency, for surely they are insane. This world and every living thing in it must surely be insane. I resumed my research today. I can read for an hour at a stretch before that dark cloud descends upon my mind once more. The moments of clarity I have must suffice, I think. Perhaps in these papers I can find something that will ease my suffering, and even that of others. Perhaps. I have discovered that by the end of their reign, the archons of the Old Kingdom faced their own mortality with anger. They came to reject the inevitability of death. That we share at least this philosophy is some comfort. They made great efforts to change their world, great efforts. When I mentioned this to Garth, he grew silent. I wonder at this. Found it! Images of the tattered spire are now burned into my mind. It is the sun looked upon for too long, the melody that echoes ceaselessly. I found it! The key to a new world. I pray that I have the will to do what I must. Garth finally capitulated. Together we took a frigate to the site and sent down drag lines. We circled the area for a week, growing more irritable with each day. Then today our lines hit stone. It is there. It is deep, unfathomably deep, and yet task is not impossible. It must not be. There is no alternative. Enforced labor is the only way the spire can be completed within my lifetime. Garth shares my apprehension at this prospect, but I believe he shares my determination as well. Sometimes conventional notions of morality must be subverted, suspended, no matter how difficult that may be. Morality is a fine thing, but taken to its logical extreme, it can hold us back from true greatness. Perhaps Westcliff is the answer to the enforcement dilemma. Crucible winners must be of particularly sturdy stock, ideal recruits, physically. As for issues of obedience, I believe I may have found an answer to any dissatisfaction that might develop once they're here. I cannot allow anything to compromise the spire's construction. Blood seems to be the key. In particular, those whose lineage can be traced back to the ancient line. But where do I find such folk? Can their ancestry be determined with the naked eye? It strikes me that I've not made sufficient note of Garth's peculiarities before now. I shall inquire. I feel an unexpected joy at being so far out from the mainland. Here I can imagine that no other ties bind me to this world. No past, no pain, just the great task before me. Now the base is almost complete. Our ships will have a harbor at least. Sadly, today saw the first of our workers fall. This was not unexpected. We must continue regardless. Each month, it becomes harder to imagine the return to mundane duties. The spire whispers to me, still faint, but already somehow familiar and comforting. As I lay a hand upon walls that are only now beginning to take shape, I can almost feel the heartbeat of those that came before us. Today, the peace was interrupted briefly by a minor uprising. I had no choice but to deal with it harshly. I do not begrudge the men who stood against me. They do not understand, but they will learn in time. Garth informs me that 4 workers leapt to their death this morning. It is regrettable, and yet I must remain focused. The work is what matters. In fact, I wonder if we should not be less discriminating when it comes to the recruitment of labor. Our progress seems less a function of their efforts and their skill than of their sheer weight in numbers. I shall forgo the use of collars on these men. I believe more traditional forms of discipline will be just as efficient. Today, I felt the first stirrings of will. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced. Powerful, seductive, and all too brief. I hunger for more. Garth seemed displeased. Beware hubris was all he could think to say. Can he not grasp the beauty of what we shall accomplish? My beloved Helena and Amelia still visit me whenever I close my eyes. But last night, my dreams are unlike any that have haunted me before. I saw a blind, hooded woman and other figures, shadowed and gaunt. But sunrise has already stripped us of any meaning it may have held. Is this all my new abilities have to offer? Cryptic visions and prophetic riddles? I'd sooner enjoy a full night of rest. One question has consumed me of late. If the spire and its component parts react to will, would not small slivers of the spire within a man grant him heroic powers? I had prepared an experiment to test this arresting theory, only for Garth's interruption to ruin it. He's becoming a greater impediment the further we progress, yet I have no thought of removing him. Once indispensable for his intellect alone, he is now crucial to this great project in ways he may not even suspect. I hope he does not. My life and my purpose lie far beyond Albion's shores now. I shall not stay long in the castle that bears my name. My facility with the technology of the ancients increases exponentially, and today I learned of 2 promising candidates right here within the city. Could it be that 2 of the titans I seek are right under my nose? They're only children, but... my dear Amelia.
It's good to be home after these 3 last months at sea. My ship barely made it to port under the weight of such spoils, and then only after we disposed of those less valuable. It was a pity to see my new brides sink into the ocean, but their sizable attributes rendered them unfeasibly heavy, and I'd already tossed all non-essential crew members into the ever-undulating arms of the Kraken. I believe my most cherished memory from this voyage has to be the discovery of an island far to the south of Albion, among waters of indescribable blue. There, men and women consort in ways even I found slightly objectionable. They have little need for clothing under that gentle sun, and their fondness for a syrupy liqueur made from an obscenely shaped fruit made it almost too easy to plunder their possessions. I might have stayed there forever, had it not been for the monkey incident. This is my first night back since the renovations, and I must say that chap from Rookridge has done a splendid job. Small miracle, considering he'd recently lost 3 toes and 2 family members. But what was I to do? He wouldn't be persuaded to abandon the construction of some worthless temple to aid me in my time of crisis, and his predecessor had simply the worst taste in furnishings. I was generous to let him live as long as I did. Now that awful scent of burnt wood and flesh has dissipated, perhaps I shall throw a party. Ursula and Penelope will be my guests of honour. Shame Andrew crumbled to ashes in the fire. What a sweet young fellow, but such a heavy sleeper. I am filled with a wonderful weariness tonight. My bedroom is far too crowded to get a good night's sleep, and I'm too indolent to eject any of my lovely guests. Instead, I thought I would sit in my study, sipping a restorative beverage and enjoying my own company. It reminds me of my very first evening in this house. My bedfellows were fewer and less charming then, but I had little energy left anyway. It isn't every day that one murders a pirate king and takes his place. Oh, I had the vigour of youth back then. Real youth. How many must I have killed on my way to this very room? I shall never forget the look on the brigand's face, one so ill-suited to royalty of any kind. How he came to such a position, being so slow on the draw, is a perfect mystery. I feel somewhat reinvigorated now, and I hear stirrings upstairs. Perhaps the night isn't quite over yet. I received an unusual visitor today, an adventurer who'd toddled in through Wraithmarsh, losing neither life, limb, nor sanity on the way. This alone would have been sufficient to mark him as a unique individual, but once I'd learned he'd escaped from the demented grip of none other than Lord Lucian, I knew I had quite a catch in my hands. I've sent an emissary to speak with Lucian and come to a lucrative arrangement. Since the time of the tribute is nearing, I can already feel the wrinkles begin to form on my face. I sent the poor sod to the Shadow Court to keep him busy. I'm sure the old loon in the spire won't mind if I post him back slightly decrepit. Should make it easier to keep him locked up. I think I'll celebrate my good fortune by commissioning a new portrait. I've heard of a chap with some sort of magical apparatus that renders almost lifelike results. I believe his name is Barnum. I shall have him brought to me today. I awoke from the nightmare again. One would think that more than 200 years would suffice to blunt its steel. But still I see Oakvale devoured by shadows. Still those shrieks fill the air. How much longer must I live before they fall silent? Such dreams belong to another time, to another man, one who would recoil from the things I've done since that night, who might even care about all the sacrifices I've offered up to the odious judges over how long? Hundreds of years. I see that man as he was back then, as beautiful as me, as fiery as me, but so delicate, so breakable, and so afraid of death. I see him summon the Shadow Court into this world, oblivious to the consequences. He asks them for immunity for the disease of time and death, and they grant it. Then I see him running madly through fields, the realization of just what price he has unwittingly paid hanging like a tragedy mask from his face. He falls to his knees before the town he called home, now a dark circus of screams. Hers is among them, but he can do nothing to stop it. What a weak, despicable man he is. But I am not he. I am Reaver. And I will sleep much better after this chalice of wine.